global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to Global Happenings Today YouTube channel. This news is bumper packed. We have 3-in-1 loaded news. One is coming directly from Peter Obi. One is coming from someone from the past of Peter Obi, coming to shed more light on who truly Peter Obi that most Nigerians don't have idea of. And the third one has to be with Ohanaeze Ndigbo and top Igbo groups warning the INEC and those in the corridor of power not to rig out Peter Obi, and they had outlined all their reasons. We're going to flow into the news in a moment, but before we do that, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as you update our channel on YouTube. Let us start with what Peter Obi has to say. According to the news, Mr. Peter Obi, the Labour Party candidate, has encouraged voters to reject presidential candidates who cannot address them personally, but only through proxies. He stated that every contender must come to Nigeria and present his or her agenda in order for Nigeria to function. Mr. Valentine Obiayam, his media advisor, cited Obi as stating this while addressing individuals who came to see him in Germany on Friday. Mr. Obi also urged voters to conduct background investigations on all presidential candidates before believing any promise they make. When you listen to us, look into our backgrounds, he said. This is not the moment for someone to demonstrate their credentials. I am from Nigeria, therefore I understand the needs of the people here. Nigerian issues are not unfamiliar to me. Even though I attended some of the top universities like Oxford, Cambridge, and Ivy League colleges, I'm a trader, and I also tell people that academic achievement is not the same as integrity. Listen to each presidential candidate directly without using a proxy. Anyone who wants to be your president should approach you and speak with you directly, because you will be held accountable for whatever occurs in Nigeria while he is in office. This is not a campaign in which you will speak through a third party. Instead, the candidate must appear before us and directly pledge his support for our nation. We must pay attention to what he says and hold him accountable for his promises. We also don't want someone who would need to be wheeled here in a wheelchair. Instead, we must take into account his ability, competence, integrity, and devotion. According to Obi, it is our responsibility to improve conditions in Nigeria for the benefit of our nation. Then again, he didn't stop them. Someone from the past of Peter Obi came and did this to him. Chukwuebuka Ezinwo, a beneficiary of educational impact of the presidential candidate on platform of Labour Party Peter Obi, while he was an Anambra State governor, has surprised him with his story in Germany. Earlier reported that Obi confirmed in a personally signed statement on Thursday that he'll be traveling overseas to hold dialogue with Nigerians in the diaspora. The former governor of Anambra State stated the nations he will visit, including Germany, Italy, Canada, and the United States. Well, Chukwuebuka described how, as a student looking for financial aid to attend a summer program abroad, he contacted the former governor of Anambra State during a town hall meeting organized by Nigerians in diaspora in Germany. Chukwuebuka claimed that Obi brought him to the government residence and gave him the assurance that the money needed for the workshop had been paid in full. He continued by saying that with the assistance of the former governor of the Anambra State, he was able to pursue his master's and subsequently the PhD degree. Peter Obi expressed disbelief during the occasion that Dr. Ebuka came up to a town hall meeting in Germany to convey his experience. Somebody he helped in the time past, not just to have a master's, but he went further to become a doctor, an academic doctor. Today is coming from Peter Obi's past to give him such accolades. Have you now seen what we talk about background check that he just talked about, that Nigerians should do background check on every presidential aspirant, on every contender, so we don't begin to vote people in proxy. But let's find out what Ohanaeze Ndigbo is telling Nigerians to do or better still, those in the corridor of power and INEC to do? Well, Chris Elemeno, a former chairman of Ohanes Ndigbo, Anambra State, has warned that rigging the 2023 general election would result in a crisis worse than EndSARS. This is as he expressed optimism that the presidential election would end in favor of the Labour Party candidate, Peter Obi, since by the electoral reform, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has made rigging visually difficult. Elumeno, who spoke to journalists at his country home, Ezunaka, in Oyi local government area of Anambra State, there will be no room for rigging the election by the Electoral Act. Obi is favored to carry the day because Nigerians know that among all the presidential candidates running for election, only Obi is the one who can return this country to a path of success. He emphasized that with the electronic system of voting, it will be difficult for anybody to try to rig the election, and once it is not rigged, Obi is going to win. Elder Elumeno was the former chief press secretary to the Second Republic civilian governor of Old Anambra State, Jim Nwobodo, as well as the one-time president general of Ekwele Ezunaka community. He, however, warned that if by overt or covert the election was rigged, what will before the nation will be more than hashtag EndSARS episode. If they try and rig it, they will see more than they saw during the EndSARS protest. Nigerians are set for a showdown if the man of the people is denied his victory. Of course, a lot of reactions have trailed this. Nigerians are talking, everyone is talking. Now we are at it. Every 4 years, they come with all manner of tactics. Okay, initially used to be agbado eating, corn eating by the roadside, roasted corn. You see them; they are now very close to the masses. In the southwest, they begin to fry akara, beans cake, with the poor. In fact, they go as far as eating amala in amala joint with the common man. But immediately after the elections, you don't even have their phone numbers. Okay, they switch numbers, they change phones, they go on convoys, they don't even know you. Okay, practically. So right now, the power belongs to you. But immediately after now, the power will now belong to them. So it's up to you to vote for people who would give all of us accountability. Look, the problem about this election, or the sensitivity about this election, is not because it's the regular for 4 years. It's the fact that if we miss it this time, Nigeria may not recover from it, judging the fact that economically we are at our ebb. We have borrowed to our future and generations unborn. And then security-wise, we are almost exhibiting signs and symptoms of a failed state. So it is now or never. Judging the fact that we have one of the biggest economies, ought to have one of the biggest economies, but yet we are not utilizing it. Let's go wrap it up. Let's meet in that conversation. What's your take? Have a nice time. God bless you.